Friends, the thought of making a solo trip to Ladakh feels quite enchanting, exciting, and filled with full of adventures, but at the same time makes us all the more nervous as well because of all the uncertainties it has to offer. Well, many of us want to overcome our fears. We want to come out of that comfort zone and live the life as free as a flying bird within the sublime spirit of adventures in the Himalayas. Today in this Express FAQ series on traveling to Ladakh, I'm going to share some most important and practical tips on planning a Ladakh trip as a solo traveler. So let's get started. Julia friends, if you are new to my channel, my name is Dheeraj and I help people in planning memorable trips to the Himalayas. Well, by now you may already have got the indication that you can of course travel solo to Ladakh, but there are some things that you must keep in mind before traveling to this remote region of the Himalayas. So without any further delay, let us look at some of the most important tips one by one. Number 1. Plan the flow of your trip and not a day-by-day itinerary. When traveling a solo trip to Ladakh, you must plan for the flow of the trip rather than following a day-wise plan. The fixed itinerary for a Ladakh trip might suit people traveling in groups or those who have their own commute option, but following a fixed plan can be a really challenge if you are a solo traveler. So you should be free from any fixed schedule and travel in Ladakh with just a sketch of your plan. It will help you remain focused on visiting most of the places that you intend to cover, rather than just worrying about commute option to hop from one place to another in order to match your day-wise Ladakh itinerary. Number 2. Travel in season time, that is from June to September. The majority of people travel to Ladakh in season time, which is from June to September period. Since private taxis are pretty costly, when traveling solo to Ladakh, you need to rely on frequency of public transport and shared taxis. But the frequency of public transport in Ladakh is not that great, and in off-season time, public transport becomes much less frequent owing to landslide and snowfall. Hence, it becomes all the more important for you as a solo traveler to travel Ladakh in the season time when there will be many tourists to share the taxi cost. Also, hitchhiking in Ladakh tourist season is much easier as compared to traveling in the shoulder season months or winters in Ladakh. If you are on a solo bike trip to Ladakh, the transport should not matter to you, but then again, making such a Leh Ladakh solo bike trip in season time will have its own advantages as more folks will be on the road. Hence, in case of any help that you may need, the probability of getting such a help on Ladakh trip will be much more in the season time than in the off season. Tip number 3. You already know by now watching my previous videos that the private taxis are very costly in Leh Ladakh, but you will be able to find some shared taxis without much fuss at all in the season time. There are lots of flyers or whiteboard posts that other travelers put at cafes, dine-ins, restaurants, travel agent shops who want to share the cost of taxis for their different sightseeing trips within Ladakh. Even many travel agents organize such shared tourist taxi trips as well. But the cost of taxis run by travel agents is little higher, about rupees 400 to 500, than it would ideally cost you per person when you share the taxi yourself. So in worst case, you can always go back to these travel agents in Leh and book a seat for yourself in a sightseeing tour. Point number 4. You can even search for online travel partners to reduce the overall cost. There are various websites that allow you to find travel partners, including India My Travel forums or Lonely Planet Travel Buddies sections. Even on my blog Devil on Wheels, I have an easy to use travel calendar for you where you can find some shared group tours run by some reliable and trusted locals of Ladakh and Spiti Valley. Tip number 5. Keep sharing your plan and whereabouts with your family and friends. Well, you are in the Trans Himalayas where no one knows what happens and when it happens. Trust me, no matter what, you must share your whereabouts and your day-wise plan with your family and friends. And if you are traveling solo in Ladakh, it is of utmost importance because you are the only point of contact for them. I have an experience of numerous instances where either mine or my friends or somewhere on my blog or forums, the family is searching for their loved ones while the news of landslides, natural calamities, or flash floods or even roadblocks reaches them. Without knowing your traces or whereabouts or where you were supposed to reach on a particular day or where you were couple of days before, it becomes very uneasy and tense for the family members back at home. Hence, because of already scarce or limited phone connectivity options in Ladakh, you must take all opportunities to keep someone trusted informed about your whereabouts and plans so that in case required, you can be traced by your family without much fuss or panic. Tip number 6, travel as light as possible. The more you travel light, the less cumbersome and quick it becomes for you to hop from one commute option to another or move around from one place to another without much discomfort. This is very crucial, especially when you are relying on public transport within Ladakh. There will be some routes on which public transport may not be as readily available and you may need to depend upon the hitchhike. Well, you may already know, even by statistics, we always pack much more what actually is required or used by us on any trip. Hence, pack your stuff wisely. Tip number 7, always carry a personal identification card, medical insurance card, and emergency contact information on a solo trip to Ladakh. These documents should be kept somewhere open, easily accessible, maybe as a hanging tag, wallpaper of an unlocked phone, or in a wallet, or both. Doing so will really help in case of any emergency where a prompt action can be taken by anyone without any issues. Please bear in mind that you are traveling to some of the remotest corners of Himalayas and some of the roads in Ladakh are very desolate. Hence, it becomes vital to have your important documents with you all the time. Being closer to the inner line region of international border, it is important as well. Tip number 8, you should mingle and get friendly with the locals. Well, when you travel solo to Ladakh, it is an opportunity to learn more about the local culture and lifestyle. Gelling up with the people in Ladakh is more or less comfortable because many people travel solo up there and look forward to meet new people. Nowhere in the world you will find more smiling and helpful people as Ladakhis are, and don't forget to use that magical word Jule up there on your trip. Tip number 9, wisely choose your accommodation and its location. When making a solo trip to Ladakh, it is important to keep a tab on accommodation cost as well as ease of accessibility to nearby shops, eating joints, and transport options. Choose your places to stay in Leh somewhere near the local market or where you need to travel less on day-to-day basis, because within Leh there is no public transport. Walking at a high altitude in Leh takes a toll on your body, which might also affect the symptoms of AMS. Being ill alone is not a healthy sign for making a successful solo trip to Ladakh. And lastly, tip number 10, when you travel solo, enjoy your company to the fullest but always within the limits, and travel with full confidence so that stalkers do not stalk you, spotting you as an easy prey. So friends, this was all about how to plan a solo trip to Leh Ladakh. In my next video, I'll talk about the most common mistakes people make on a Ladakh road trip. So stay tuned and I'll see you in my next video. Now in the end, if you found this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you need any help or have any questions on your upcoming trip to the Himalayas, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to help you out right away. Till then my friends, Jule, and please keep our Himalayas clean.